Hello everybody, it's your favorite part of the internet aside from all the celebrity gossip and pornography. It is me, Mr. El Topo, and tonight's video is going to be a movie review because I haven't done one of those in quite some time, and the movie I'm going to be reviewing is a movie called Fanboys. Now if you're watching this video and you're part of the nerd outcast society that I also am a part of, I'm sure you've no doubt heard about this movie for years. This movie has been in developmental hell for a long time. The first time I was aware of it was when the DVD for Clerks 2 was released, so that's quite a while. So anyway, a movie that I've been wanting to see for a long time finally comes out on DVD, so high expectations, or at least something that I think I'll like. You know, I could definitely relate to being very, very excited to see episode 1, and that's kind of the crux of this movie. So I was hoping to maybe tie in a bit with, you know, some nostalgia and tap into this film. So just real quick for those that don't know, Fanboys is a comedy about this group of friends, 3 nerds and Kristen Bell, because groups of nerd guys always get girls like Kristen Bell to hang out with them. But this group of guys that basically go cross-country to raid the Skywalker Ranch so they can get an early glimpse of episode 1 because it's their friend, their friend's like dying wish because their one friend is terminally ill and he's dying of cancer. And he's also the healthiest looking cancer patient I've ever seen in my life. So, how do I start it first off by saying, it's not funny. It's not very good at all. It tries very hard and it fails. Much like actual nerds when they try to make jokes. It's written in a lot of that respect because the comedy in the film is just... It's not really comedy, it's just they throw out random Star Wars references, and I guess that there's a handful of geeks that, like, when they hear the word Alderaan, they just laugh. But that's not really a joke. That's not really clever. I mean, they just throw out every, like hey, you Wookiee. I mean, that's almost verbatim exactly how it is. Like, it's just not clever, and everything that they do, you've seen before. I don't know. I mean, I guess, like I said, I guess that they're hoping to tap into, like, ultra nerds that are like, oh my god, I can't believe someone actually knows, you know, all the obscure shit that I know about. But, like, all the jokes are about Star Wars and then internet culture jokes. Ethan Suplee plays Harry Knowles for a bit, the douchebag from Ain't It Cool News. But it's really not funny. It tries way too hard. And it fails really bad. The thing is that, in my opinion, a comedy really has to consistently be funny throughout the movie, because comedies usually have pretty weak plots, and the jokes push that weak premise along. You know, and when a movie like this just is consistently not funny, it just shows you how terrible the plot is. And it's surprising because there's a really good cast. There's a ton of great cameos by people like Seth Rogen and Danny McBride, but it's just, I mean, that's the only way I can describe it, is just not being funny. Like, there's no, like, laugh out loud moment, I've thought, in the entire movie. And when they're not making the just, you know, stupid, like, thermal detonator jokes or, like, I'll be your Dax, it's just simple softball nerd jokes. I mean, they hammer home, like, nerds don't get laid joke, like, 600 times. And, like, yeah, I guess, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess some people could argue that, like, you know, Kevin Smith kind of did, like, the obscure Star Wars jokes and obscure movie jokes. But, like, in Clerks, you know, you had the whole Death Star scenario. But, see, that was clever. He added something clever to it so that not, like, anyone can kind of appreciate that humorous situation that he presents in Clerks about the Death Star and how they had to have third-party contractors. You didn't have to know what Alderaan was to think it was funny. You know what I mean? There's no like it's just a funny joke. Like, you didn't have to have this preconceived knowledge, or not preconceived, but you didn't have to know a lot about Star Wars to get that joke. And this movie doesn't have jokes, it just has references. And like I said, it really just fails on all levels. It's really over the top and goofy. Also, you know, they go cross country. They take like an hours and hours detour to fight Star Trek fans. I mean, it's like, Star Wars fans and Star Trek fans, like, okay. And then by the time the movie gets to wrap up, it tries to be dramatic. It tries to bring back the kid that's dying and his whole subplot. And you know, it's so goofy for the whole movie. Like, it can't go back and try to be dramatic. It just doesn't work. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give Fanboys a pretty big thumbs down. It's a movie that I should have liked. I thought I would like it, because, you know, it appeals to me, who is a big nerd. But it's just not funny. And I mean, they do everything. The best way to describe it is this movie has nothing you haven't seen in it before. They do the lame subplot where Kristen Bell, who's like the hottest chick I've ever seen, is a nerd, and she's one of the guys, but the other nerd doesn't realize that, like, she's in love with him. And, like, it's the same bullshit plot device they used in that movie Sex Drive that I hated. And, like, I just want to know, like, on what planet, like, you know, your best friend is like the hottest chick ever, but you've never thought about fucking her. Give me a goddamn break. Like, I mean, it's insulting to think about. But yeah, Fanboys, really bad, not funny at all. Maybe a couple, like maybe one good joke. I think William Shatner has the only funny joke in the whole movie, and he helps the kids out, and they ask him, well, how does he get this stuff? And William Shatner just looks at the camera and goes, I'm William Shatner, I can get anything I want. And that's only funny because, in my opinion, that line was probably improvised, because that's actually how William Shatner thinks. But yeah, don't waste your time with Fanboys. If you're a big Star Wars nerd and you gotta watch it, I mean, I guess watch it. But if you want to watch something funny that's like only Star Wars nerds would appreciate, go get a bootleg copy of the holiday special and laugh at like Grandpa Wookiee looking at like odd pornography, because there's a scene like that, and if you've seen it, you probably know what I'm talking about. So see, that shows by that obscure reference that I'm just as big a nerd as anybody that should like Fanboys. But anyway, yeah, Fanboys unfortunately proves that movies that get kicked around in development for years and years and years, and then go from theatrical releases to DVD releases, usually there's a reason for all that, and this movie is just not very good. And hopefully this video didn't go 11 minutes long, and I'll be able to upload this one, unlike the other review that I made last night that was much longer, that YouTube said was too long. So anyway, enjoy, don't watch Fanboys, and drink some beer, and I love you all.